Let's go, people. Come on, come in. Settle down. Yesterday was a busy day. We've got to get ahead of it, because if you're going to go after the life that you want in 2025, you need to know how these decisions that are being made every single day are going to affect you, better or for worse, or financially, how you're going to move your money around so that you can actually get ahead this year, because we're not going to stay behind. Okay? We are going to survive these next 4 years. Not only are we going to survive, we're actually going to thrive, because we're going to do what's best for you, what's best for us. Okay? Welcome to my new series, Year of News, where I come in and I tell you guys how I'm going to move my money around so that I can make decisions that are going to impact me positively, like the billionaires. So let's get started, because we had a couple of those very interesting ones yesterday. Yesterday, Trump got into office. He signed a good number of executive orders. They're not just straight laws, but a lot of them will be. So here's the 3 that are likely going to affect us the most, where we can start making decisions today before they affect us negatively. Number 1, he declared a national energy emergency. Now, a national emergency is typically declared so we can shift budgets and policies very, very quickly without so much bureaucracy. It's kind of like the reason why governors will declare a national emergency before a hurricane actually comes our way, right? Like, the idea is let's shift things quickly without the crazy approval process. Okay? You know where I'm going with this? So the idea with the national energy emergency is we're trying to shift policy very, very quickly and money very, very quickly to do more offshore drilling. We want to put more money into oil production here domestically in the US. Now, here's what that's going to affect. Number 1, we should see lower energy prices. So if you're out on the road, you're complaining about gas prices, hopefully the increase in supply should help us offset some of those high prices. You should see it reflected in your electrical bill and your gas bill, etc. You should see it reflected in your businesses. You should see it reflected in your homes. You should see it reflected across the board. Again, this is thinking that maybe people aren't going to be super greedy, but again, you'll see it reflected there. Of course, there's going to be an environmental impact to that, but we're talking about money here. We're not talking about all of that, because it's a whole other topic. Now, here's how I'm shifting my dollars, right? For the past couple of years, we've been seeing that renewable energy sources like wind, solar, electric have been getting a ton of funding, a ton of value. Those companies have been rising up in the stock market very, very quickly. This should change that. And so now we're going back to more traditional energy companies, right? Our oil billionaires, our more legacy energy companies, and we should see their stocks starting to go up. That's where I'm shifting a lot of my dollars. Energy. You'll understand why with this next law also, which is rolling back of EV sales goals. So Biden administration has set a goal for 50% of all vehicles sold in the US by 2030 to be electric. This helps subsidize things like that $7,500 credit for buying an electric vehicle. Now, that credit is not gone. Okay, he hasn't eliminated the $7,500 credit yet, but it is being considered for elimination. What is being eliminated is that goal in general, and also a lot of the credits and a lot of the benefits that those manufacturers would get for developing more EV vehicles. Now, it costs more to make an EV vehicle. So my cost of production goes up. My cost of goods will also go up. Down, math is math, right? So what we saw in a lot of the cases is that, unfortunately, all prices for vehicles went up. This should be the operative word here, should mean that our vehicle pricing goes down. Now, the vehicle pricing over the last 4 years has been a very nuanced situation, but it should give those companies a little bit of a break to start taking the pricing down. This means that if you've been needing a new car for a while, just stay on top of that. Maybe by the end of the year, we'll see significant impact. But in the meantime, right, this means that a lot of companies are going to go back to creating cheaper cars, which are usually on oil and gas. That means that, again, those prices are going to come down. And that means that, again, those profits will go up for those companies. So I'm also going to be looking at the car companies that are increasing their profit quarter over quarter, because again, it should have a positive impact on their stock pricing. Last but not least, Trump is reversing the executive order aimed at lowering pharma costs. Okay. It's going to cost you more to buy medication. That's just 100%. You should see that reflected in your medication prices. More importantly, he's ending programs like the one where Biden put a cap on generic drugs, and some of them of about $2 for Medicare beneficiaries, et cetera. So this is likely going to affect Medicare and Medicaid recipients more than anybody, but it is going to affect all of us. So here's what I am going to say. Number 1, I would be looking and watching your drug pricing and seeing if it goes up. Is there a generic? Is there an alternative? Is there something else that you can switch into. But number two, again, in terms of investing, when the prices go up, so do the profits. So I'm going to be looking at the drugs that people need to survive and switching some stocks into that. Now, is this a human nice thing to do across the board? No, right? But we can't defeat the system by staying out and becoming broker. We can only defeat the system if we beat the system. And in order to beat the system, we've got to do the things that we've got to do in order to make ourselves more valuable when it comes to elections, when it comes to lobbying, when it comes to investing, when it comes to voting with our dollars. And so you need to make more money in order to do that. You see how it's crappy, shitty, awful POV? It is the right one though. So disagree with me all you want. If you like to take this journey together, 2025 is about to be a very interesting year. There's going to be a lot of changes. It happens every 4 years, you guys. Changes happen every 4 years. And we have to adjust how we invest and how we plan when those changes happen. So if you'd like to go on this journey together, if this video was valuable for you at all, if you would like to have this year of you, financially you, where you're more successful by the end of 2025, I hope you will join me. Please put in the comments if this was valuable, if this format was helpful. I will try my best to continue the formats that are helpful and the formats that aren't. So if this video was helpful for you at all, please put that in the comments, let me know. Otherwise, subscribe, turn on the notification. I will see you next time. Bye.